Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Today is Thursday, May the 10th, 2012. Thanks for joining me once again today. Earlier on this morning, I was on the radio. I was a guest on Deadline Live with Jack Blood. He had me on as a guest for probably close to an hour, so we discussed all sorts of very interesting topics. So if you want to check out that show. He makes his podcasts available for download, so I'll put a link in the description here if you want to check it out. And as I said, we discussed a whole lot of very interesting topics, and one thing in particular Jack wanted to get my opinion on was the current presidential race down in the States with Obama and Romney and Paul even, Ron Paul, having a tremendously successful campaign. He's gaining a lot of popularity, and I have to say I'm certainly a Ron Paul supporter. I like everything that guy has ever said. There's pretty much nothing he's ever said that I don't agree with. I think he's completely bang on the money just about all the time. So it's interesting to be following this current presidential race. So, you know, as we were talking about that, though, I wanted to bring up to him the fact that many of these people are going to be meeting very soon, right around the corner in just a couple weeks, at the annual Bilderberg conference. And that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today, is something that I mentioned on his show, is this current initiative called Occupy Bilderberg, which I think is a great idea. And as I've stated many times before, I'm a little bit on the fence with the whole Occupy movement. I think there's a lot of really good things about it, and there's a lot of really bad things about it. I've stated many times before that I don't feel it should be this 99% versus the 1%, but more like the 99.99 versus the 0.001%. And that is precisely who the Bilderberg group is. When you have 120 or 130 or so on average of the most influential and powerful people in the world meeting together in secret and complete military lockdown, they're setting up policies there, and they have the power and the influence and the ability to affect the direction that the world is going. And so I like this concept of Occupy Bilderberg to try to go there and expose the fact that, number one, people are catching on to them. It wasn't long ago that there was such a media blackout on Bilderberg that nobody really knew about these guys at all. I believe it was Bilderberg researcher Jim Tucker who once made the analogy. He explained it like this. He said, if you had 120 actors and actresses and athletes and people of that nature meeting for 3 days out of the year, every year, in secret, in a lockdown building, there would be so many paparazzi outside, and every news station in the world would be outside trying to figure out what are they doing in there, what are they talking about, what are they discussing. And yet here at Bilderberg you have incredibly wealthy and powerful and influential people meeting in secret, discussing foreign policies and so forth, and yet there's a complete media blackout. And so it is taking place from May 31st to June 3rd in Chantilly, Virginia. And actually the last time that the Bilderberg group met there in Virginia was in 2008. And many researchers and people who were there documenting the event noticed that apparently Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were in attendance at that one. And of course, this is in June of '08, so this is a whole 5 or 6 months or so before the election. So a lot of researchers believe that it was there and then that the international globalists made their pick for the next president of the United States and decided that Barack Obama is going to be the man who is going to better carry out their agendas rather than Hillary Clinton. So it's interesting now that 4 years later, again with the presidential election right around the corner, they are meeting once again in Virginia And many people believe this is also what will be a main topic of discussion, which is who is going to better carry out the agendas of the global elite this year as President of the United States. Is it going to be Romney? You know, they're going to figure out, is that the route that they're going to want to take this time? Or Obama, and see if they can get him in for another 4 more years to carry out the agendas. And it's looking like it's probably Obama is their man. I mean, it's tough to say. They'll often surprise you with things, but Obama's really been carrying out their agendas ever since he got in. Many people are realizing now that there is no change that he promised, and he's signed more draconian laws and brought these bills into law more so than even George Bush did. He's clearly just a puppet of the global elite carrying out their agendas. So it looks like this year in Chantilly, Virginia, that is going to be one of the main topics of discussion there, is to, who's better going to be suited to carry out the agendas of the global elite. So I would strongly encourage people to get behind this idea of Occupy Bilderberg. There's been a Facebook group that's been set up for this, and so I'll put a link in the description. If you want to spread the word about this, you can share that link around where people can find out more about event times and places, where to be and when. I would love to go. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to pull it off. I just quite simply can't afford to take a trip like that right now. If something miraculous happens and I get a chance to go there, I'll certainly be there. I did it once before in 2006. I went to the Bilderberg conference in Ottawa, and I have to say, it's a great feeling being there, confronting these guys where and when they're meeting, and letting them know that we know, that we're onto them, and we're beginning to expose just what they're doing at these meetings. So again, this is something I just wanted to bring to your attention today because I think it's a great cause. So I'll put the links in the description for the Facebook group if you want to check it out yourself, or you want to spread this information. That's a good link to share. And I'll also put the link to my interview this morning on Deadline Live with Jack Blood. His podcast will probably be available by the time you're watching this video, so you can check that out. We, as I said, discussed a whole bunch of other interesting topics as well. And so anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Okay, take care.